Anoka-Hennepin Superintendent David Law is stepping down from his job this summer as the leader of the largest school district in the state. Law had deep roots in the district, and we talked to him about that for this week's Newsmakers segment.
I have been working in the district off and on since 1985. I started as a high school student lifeguard and worked my way through community education and a high school math teacher, a middle school assistant principal, and now superintendent. So I've had a lot of roles. I've been a coach. I've been in the community for a long time. I've lived in the community primarily since the late 70s. So it's a bittersweet departure.
All right, but it was a good time as far as stability in the district.
Right, I do feel really good about where we are. Our facility projects are wrapping up and they look beautiful. We're stable as financially as much as you can be in public education. Our board is stable. Someone's not going to step into budget cuts or a big operating levy. So it's a good time to transition someone landing in a spot where they have a healthy budget and they've got stability in leadership and they're not really looking at some big project coming up.
All right, what's the timeline look like for the next superintendent?
The district is interviewing candidates, the school board, on June 13th and 14th, and hope to make a decision very quickly after that. Tentative start date is July 1st for an interim, depending on when that person's available, and I'll stay on until that person is able to be established. And then they're going to repost for a permanent position, hoping to hire in December.
All right, let's talk about a few updates. Now, the referendum in 2017 made way for a few upgrades on local schools. Where's that at? You know,
we're wrapping up projects. They're beautiful. Our high schools have never looked better. Beautiful, safe entryways. We got rid of all of our portables. We had over 90 portables. They're all gone. Specifically middle schools like Anoka Middle School, we addressed some portables and made appropriate space there. Champlain Brook and Park Academy was built out so that Jackson Middle School could have some more space. Two new beautiful elementary schools, Sunrise and Brookside and Ramsey and Blaine. We're right now in the final stages of putting some investment into media centers across our district. So over 2 years, every building will be touched with better media space.
Okay.
And so we're just wrapping up that project, and it's probably a year longer than we wanted, but we're able to use some other funding streams to put a little bit more money in. And now we're doing some of the interior spaces that have been let go as we've been working on other things. So when people walk in the buildings in the next year or two, they're going to say, wow, this is amazing inside too.
All right, something to be proud of then,
right.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You guys are also dealing though with a worker shortage as far as cafeteria workers, bus drivers, things like that. How's that going?
Well, that's the downside of the current state of the economy is that people have lots of choices to where they want to work. And so we're still double routing buses where they'll send the first group of kids home and come back and pick up another one, or we'll put 2 routes on one bus or 3 routes on 2 buses. And child nutrition, we're struggling to get enough employees to be able to serve. There's some resource in getting the food to serve too, but labor shortage is impacting us across our system. We've got positions at our student supports that have never been hired this year, and we don't really have a plan to solve that because everyone's struggling with the same issue. So I think people will notice that over the next few years, education is going to have to feel different because we just don't have the number of people. One prime example is we used to have teachers. All of our high school English teachers might take a day and do staff development during the school year, and we'd provide subs for them. Well, we used to have about 400 subs. Now we have about 120.
Wow.
So unless people are out ill or for personal reasons, we just don't pull teachers very much during the day for any training. That's why there's calendars that have staff development days where students aren't in the building now because we can't do what we've done for 30 years in that area.
All right, so you have to grow and stretch in different ways. And are you also getting fewer applicants for teaching positions?
There are fewer people coming through the college pipeline into public education. And so, yeah, we used to post an elementary job, even if you posted it in November, you'd have 50 applicants. And we had jobs we posted in November and had no applicants.
Wow.
So we had to go and kind of ask retirees to come back or creative solutions. And some of that is federal funds, and everyone has lowered class sizes and put in resource. And that might bump up a little bit in a year when those federal funds dry up after the post-pandemic. But another part is just fewer people coming into education right now because there's been some, public critique of public education that make people feel like, well, maybe this is not a great industry to get into. And we're trying to fix that.
All right. And as you leave the district, I guess it's pertinent to ask, what will you miss?
You know what? I can't go anywhere in the community without bumping into proud parents and kids. And I'll miss that interaction because I've lived here for so long. Whether it be someone who will say, hey, your mom was my aqua aerobics instructor, or you taught my mom how to swim, or I was a math teacher, or just the great staff and really friendly community. This last week I've been walking my dog early in the morning, and every single day a different community member who I might not have known ever in my life has come up and just been great and friendly. And I'm going to miss that. I'm still going to live here for a little while, but I'm going to miss the friendly community and supportive community.
Law will be headed to be superintendent of Minnetonka schools.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.